The Banter fam, what's up? Welcome, Bulls. Bulls are stepping in, finally, right? Again, get through the chop, you get the reward. Stay in the time where no one's fishing, you catch all of the fish. There's a system to this. There is a recipe to this. And yet again, we look now and the Bulls are starting to step in. However, again, the rowdy friends are about to enter the party. I want to speak about the next leg in the altcoins. I want to speak about the squeeze that is incoming, because what we are seeing is not only did we see that there was a bunch of liquidations on shorts. So you saw a short squeeze yesterday. There is a big liquidation event that is going to happen on the altcoins next. So again, what we have is Big Daddy Bitcoin leading the road for us, but what comes next is the altcoins that come for their squeeze. So not only do I think the pullbacks are about to end, okay, where the pullbacks are about to get a lot smaller, I think the pumps on altcoins are about to increase heavily. And we need to make sure that we are loaded when it comes to long-term, spot, and obviously it is time to trade again. I started taking a bunch of trades, and I can happily say that the trades are going very good today, right? But I want to speak about what's kind of next. Okay, what's getting away from us very quickly, and kind of understanding what's urgent right now and what are the next batch of altcoins to start moving. But again, I told you, we are going to get away from the hope emotions. We hope a pump's coming. We hope Bitcoin's going to actually go break all-time highs into the confidence levels. And when the confidence emotions hit the market, then you start to see the parabolic pushes. And I think, and I see a lot in the charts right now, that the market is getting ready for a parabolic move that's about to catch everyone off guard. So guys, do me a favor. Smack the like button if you've been sitting strong, staying focused, loading up, working when no one is working. Okay, and hit the like button if you're ready for money, baby. No more wasting time. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like sniper. Welcome to Sheldon's show.
Friend Brandon's channel, hit the subscribe button. Guys, like the video up. Let's go. Let's get the bull market vibes going again, right? Let's get pumped. Let's get ready. So we are a couple, around 3% away from Bitcoin breaking all-time highs. Now, what is going to start happening, guys, is we're going to get out of choppiness and we're going to start trending, which means your pullbacks, okay, will be smaller pullbacks. They won't last too long, and your big legs will increase very quickly, right? So you're going to get to this point where your green legs are going to look like this, then the short shakeouts, and then the continuation. What you don't want to be is on the wrong side of that, right? So still stay in the mentality that if there's any tokens you missed the pump, you wait for a pullback into support. There are levels to this, right? If you look at where things were last week with Bitcoin itself, Bitcoin was obviously, it made through to the highs, right? A week or two ago. And then we saw that there was a lot of longs in the market versus the shorts. So the market went down and grabbed the liquidity, right? When there is too many longs, less shorts, market's going to go and gravitate to where the money is to be made. Where can we liquidate the most people, right? Now, this sounds scary, like this market's out to get us, but it's not when we're on the winning team. When we're on the other side and we can start to read the pictures, it starts to become a game. And all you got to do is be with the winning team, right? You're with the winning team, you make a ton of money. When you have the wrong fundamentals of chasing pumps and these type of things, you know, this is where you're going to kind of get caught off guard. So the important thing, yet again, is if you missed your favorite altcoin, you buy it on support on this side, right? This is the pump side. This is the downside. This is where you pay attention to what you have missed. Now, it's also important to know what is still about to pump on this side. That is still available for you today. But I need you to, again, when the world's about to get drunk, and at any point we're about to have this crazy alt-season party and this crazy bull market party, you need to be the sober one, okay, that can see things a lot more clearer. Okay, and that's why fighting through the chop stages is always going to be a hard territory, and it teaches you not to rush too quickly. And again, just improve 1%, 2%, 3% at a time that you go through these areas, and over time you learn to master the chop stage, right? And that's the thing for me. I take hits, but I always have money to catch when the market wants to go again, right? I split my money up a little bit more, and that's the thing. You take hits, but again, your structure and your risk management and your strategies all get better, right? So let's jump straight back in. Okay, PSG is the winning team. I see. PSG whoop butt. Very much. Okay, so if we look at this over here, we can get a good understanding that yet again, we see a little bit of a spark. We start to see how fast markets can kind of wake up. And we also understand that what's going to happen next, okay, is in order to get confidence levels within the market, okay, the shiny things are going to kind of pop. Now, the shiny things are not always going to be the quality, right? You need to understand that quality is going to rise incredibly strong, but there always is going to be these retail tokens, right? So yet again, the moment you see a little bit of spark within the market, you are then going to see things like the memes waking up, and they're going to be, you know, the highest performers. And another token, which I do believe is a powerhouse token, is Hyperliquid, right? These guys have been doing incredible things when it comes to a decentralized exchange, okay? And again, it just shows you that you're going to have the high quality tokens do incredibly well, you know, over multiple weeks, multiple months. Don't lose sight in that. These pumps over here, this is what's going to bring retail in, right? If Pepe keeps pumping another 50%, a lot of people are coming in, right? Pengu, all of these memes are starting to, you know, it's telling us that if these things want to run, market's getting ready for retail again, right? My shows are ready to get back to 100,000 views again, right? That is what the market is ready, because it goes through these phases of flushing out the market, okay? It kind of gets rid of all of the people that are not really the strong believers in crypto. They're just here for money, okay? It kind of puts a lot of projects that are also here just for money, puts them under pressure. Therefore, in the chop seasons, you see the collapses of people getting wrecked, and obviously projects getting wrecked, and all these type of things. Then it gets to a certain point where just before you think that this thing is about to dry out and be completely dead, right? Boom, market wakes up ready for retail again. So again, I'm not surprised to see the memes moving. They're starting to wake up. And another thing to pay attention to as well is the ETH ecosystem is waking up. Uniswap, Aave, you could see ETH itself, right? So pay attention to know that ETH is probably one of the best ecosystems right now when it comes to cheapness, okay? When it comes to loading portfolios and these type of things as well. So it's important to see between the lines, right? Lido is one of the biggest ones. Ondo is starting to wake up, right? So again, ETH tokens are waking up. So is Chainlink over there as well. So let's dive into it. Again, the weekly is starting to look incredible on Bitcoin. High time frame, we zoom out, we look at the bigger picture. This is what Bitcoin's in, and we still want to keep debating that we're not in a bull market, right? Yes, it takes time to release the alts. We get it. Okay, but you cannot debate that this market is not in a bull market, right? This is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, yet again, had a strong push down last week, okay? Flushed out a bunch of the markets, and it was crazy. We only went from $110,000 to $100,000, right? Flushed out, and look at the response. The response is good, indicating yet again that we are passing levels, right? If we look at the first time Bitcoin broke through the highs, we broke through, we came and we tested it, right? Here, we broke through and we short-term tested it. However, we have not pushed far away from this just yet, and that's what I still see coming. I see us now at any point waking up incredibly fast to the upside. Then there will be a shake, and my kind of prediction is that's when we're going to see real alt season. In this time, I think we are going to see a good altcoin pump that's going to get altcoins to crazy levels again. But where I really think alt season starts is when the bigger shakeout comes in a couple of weeks over here. And we know it's coming. Okay, we know in a couple of weeks the shakeout's going to be coming. Okay, and I want to show you this over here. When you look at the RSI, there's no doubt about it that there is a couple of weeks now of boom, push up, and there will be a shakeout, and then there will be a move on again, right? Now, why it's so important to know that, oh, but a shakeout's incoming, why should I be so, you know, heavily involved now or loading up now, is because the shakeout is not going to affect where we are currently right now, right? If we start pushing up over here, and you look at things like ETH starts pushing up from here back into the 4,000, and then it shakes out to 3.4, 3.2. You see we are 2.7 right now. We will survive the shakeout. Not only that, right? We have abilities to add and build and be and not sit under the stress versus those that will FOMO in on the top over here and automatically go into a short-term drawdown. We just went through this stage, right? We just went through this, and we know this is a terrible stage to be. But what it would be great is if we're sitting down over here and watching the party above, right? So it's like, oh, that's okay, I'm good, you know, type of thing. Got stop loss at entries, you know, that's the whole goal here. The goal is to actually slow down when the market speeds up. In order to do so, you have to be before the main event gets here. Those that come in late, they're going to work incredibly hard, right? And they're going to exhaust themselves pretty quickly. And our goal is to actually work hard when no one's working hard, and then sit back and slow down. And the more that you slow down in a sped up market, you keep yourself composed, you keep your emotions composed, and it starts to become a way easier game than trying to fumble and should I get out, should I get in, all of these type of things, right? There is a key to success, there's a key to being rich, and there's a key to dominating in the crypto markets. I just sold my microwave to buy more. Nice. Amazing. Alrighty, okay. Let's jump in. So again, things are looking good over here. We are starting to see a little bit of a short-term Bitcoin dominance pullback, which is nice. We'll go through that in a sec. But this is where the big event happens, guys. You have now seen a Bitcoin short squeeze come out, right? And the short squeeze started with Bitcoin over here. We broke 93, short squeeze happened, and Bitcoin started to go from the hope emotions into the more confidence emotions, right? Even now, we're only about to exit and go into real confidence emotions, and that's when Bitcoin's very likely to not pull back much and just have a strong 2-3 candle, something like this, right? And then uncertainty will start to happen again, right? Now, again, you go through to the altcoins and you realize that the altcoin wall is sitting over here. So the altcoin wall is sitting in the areas of around 10% away. After that, guys, very big short squeeze for altcoins, and altcoins do this very similar thing, okay? And this is where I get back to what I think is going to happen. I think at any point now, Bitcoin is going to wake up and hit that $120,000 to $140,000 mark. Then I do think a shakeout is incoming, okay? And then I think it's alt season. And what that looks like on alts is it looks like this. It looks like altcoins from here. The main goal that we need now, okay, is from here, we push up to the all-time highs, because that's the all-time highs. Let's not forget, let's go back over here, okay, that's all-time highs on altcoins, right? So once we get back to, why is it doing that, to the altcoin high territory over here, that's what we need. We push up over here, then at that time, I think Bitcoin's at a $120,000, $140,000. Then I think there's a shake, and then I think it's full-blown alt season. Then what I think happens after that is I'll start pushing incredibly fast. There will be some traps along the way, okay? And then I do think maybe later on this year, you know, we get near a top. But we should start to see very fast movements, okay? And when that happens, guys, it means that we are getting near the end of the bull market. That's how we know when the bull market is ending, right? Why has there been so much uncertainty, okay, of, is the bull market over? Is it not? Is it this? Why does Bitcoin just keep going and then breaking the highs again every couple of weeks and then going up again? Because we are still in the bull. When the altcoins wake up and alt season happens, then we can sit and say, okay, now we're getting near the end of the bull market. And that's when things are going to speed up incredibly fast. Things are actually going to get overpriced. Okay, they're actually going to be too. So if I think about ETH now, where I think ETH should be valued to Bitcoin right now is around $6,000. But I won't be surprised if it goes to $9,000 in the bull, because things are going to get way more shinier than what they actually are. And that's why when the bear markets come into play, alts come down 60-70% because they're actually overpriced in bull markets. They're too expensive than what they actually are, right? Therefore, the truth reveals itself when we put pressure on the markets. How much are these things worth now? And that's why they're coming down 60%. So again, I think ETH is a $6,000 or $7,000 token. But again, I won't be surprised if it goes to 9 or 10 or 11,000, right? That's what's going to get people to come and FOMO in and get super excited and get within the markets, right? And the same thing with Solana. I think Solana is a $500 token, but I won't be surprised if it goes to $1,000, right? That all happens over here, and it gets extremely drunk and crazy, and it's one of those nights you'll never forget, right? But it also can be one of the biggest hangovers you could ever get when you wake up the next morning. And that's what I'm here to do, is to get you into good habits and prepare yourself for when that craziness happens. And again, if we make a lower high here on the Bitcoin dominance, which you could see over here, we know, okay, that this RSI, the big RSI, the monthly, is at the top, right? We know that there is a cliff that's about to drop. It's literally going to be, you know, when they say the bulls will walk up the stairs, okay, and the bears jump out the window, that's what happens, right? We've seen it many times on charts. The bulls slowly work. But when the bears kick in, torpedo to the downside, right? It's like jumping out of the damn window. And that's what you could see here. The bulls are walking up the stairs. At any point, the bears, torpedo. Again, this is exciting. We've been waiting long for this. I know. But when this comes, we are getting near the end. After that, we drop, we go sideways, bear market, and we do it again. And it looks like this will probably be the future of crypto for a little while, where the tops of Bitcoin dominance will be close to the 70% and the bottoms will be close to 40%. The more that candles print, the more that we can understand. The more bull markets that we can trade more successfully, the more that we see this play out. And right now, we see this. Again, if there's a lower high over here, there ain't anything stopping us for us to go slightly lower. And then we get ready for the up again. So again, every day, every moment, everything, you don't lose the conviction. We are trading for alt season on the hard days, on the choppy days. Keep yourself motivated. This is where the millionaires are made. Okay, let's go. Let's jump in. I have a terrible headache today, but I'm going to give you all the energy I got. Okay, let's go through. This was the style of bounce that I was talking about yesterday, right? So here now we're jumping on the 4 hour, looking at what's going to happen over the next 5 to 7 days. That's what the data, the time frame that we are looking at. Okay, this is what we spoke about yesterday to say, guys, we broke out of the trend. Don't be surprised at any moment this market is going to pop. You're going to start to see some confidence. And it actually played out faster, right, than this drawing over here, but played out perfectly. Now, what's even great about that, right? We knew that there is a bunch of liquidation sitting at $107,000 and $109,000, right? That is now wiped out. What then happens is you then have a bunch of longs, late longs that come. So now, because remember, a lot of people probably expecting, hey, will we get through 109, right? I don't know if we're going to get through 109. We get through 109, everyone FOMO's in. What happens then? Put them under some pressure. These over here, crack over here, shake out a little bit more, and we go. But all these next liquidations, what I mean by that is the big liquidations are gone now. Okay, this drop here wiped the longs. This pump that we saw yesterday that went fast wiped the shorts. Now all these little moves here are just to wipe small leverage positions, not the big one, which means for me that the big pullbacks I don't think are here anymore, right? For now. When we start to get into this territory, then everyone's going to long again, and don't be surprised for the big wicks. But now these two moves, so it went down and up over here, has wiped the leverage in the market, and now you're getting to a neutral market. When a neutral market comes out, you're going to start to see things play correctly, especially when it comes to TA. When you see things pump, make flags, pump, the normality of the market will return when the market is neutralized. When the market is doing funny things where it's pumping, dumping, this is when there is leverage in the game. There is a lot of money to be made up and down. That's when the market moves. Now that we're neutral, okay, it's important to know that when an altcoin has been going down like this and now breaking out of trends and retesting, you buy that because the market is neutral again. It is respecting these levels again, right? When you see something pump and you see it go up and make a flag and break the flag, you can start trusting this a bit more again. Okay, when the market is neutral, it respects the levels and it respects the patterns that are playing out multiple times. So again, what we're seeing here now is I look at Bitcoin, and what Bitcoin did is it actually broke out of the $109,000 range. This is very good. Now, what we also did is we actually pumped to the next resistance. So what you're seeing now, okay, is you're seeing that this over here was support yesterday. Now we smashed through this one, and this one is currently support now. So what we're sitting at now is a channel, right? And I actually want to clean the damn chart up here and show you guys. So again, if we had to mark up, and all I do is I mark up the next two supports, the next two resistances, okay? This is what we broke yesterday. That's now support, okay? That's why Bitcoin's seeing a little bit of strength here to bounce, right? After that, the next support is over here. Okay, so it gives us an idea. This is where we must get ready to bounce. We lose this level, we're bouncing here. Great. Resistance is over here. That's exactly where we stopped, right? That's where we stopped. Next one above that. Boom. Okay, so what you can see here, guys, is price is now cramping up into this nice little range, okay? And you could see here that us losing this is a shakeout here, and then we get going, okay? Us bouncing here and breaking through here, we get going, okay? So yet again, what that means is there's opportunity for some buys right now, okay? And again, keep a little bit of cash. If you have not bought in, okay, those who are in, amazing. Okay, I'm going to show you how you put stop losses under this area over here. That's where you protect yourself. That's all you do for now. You just make sure that your risk is nice and protected. Fantastic. Okay. And you have a little bit more money if you don't have all your money in the game. A little bit of money sitting in limited orders over here. And all you're waiting for is if this turns green, this is where you'll buy the rest. Or if we hold here, drop here, that's where you're getting through. Nonetheless, I actually don't think we are going to come down here. I think the market is now neutralized, and I think the market is now ready to actually blow the water out the park, right? And so does the Bitcoin dominance. This is good. This is great. This is Bitcoin this close to all-time highs and dominance actually rejecting. This is a 4-hour time frame we are seeing over here, and we are breaking trend. You are starting to see now that our good old Ethereum is bouncing hard as hell to the Bitcoin pairing, right? Not only that, it's bouncing great when it comes to the chart itself. Okay, so altcoins are coming into strength, okay, and we actually have money going out of Bitcoin into altcoins, yet we are extremely bullish on Bitcoin. This is a beautiful concoction, okay, to money making, right? And the market to start moving incredibly fast. So again, if we look at where we are here now, I think this market's getting ready to pop. And if we push even just here, you are going to see a very strong push. Now, again, on altcoins itself, look at what altcoins has done. Okay, it broke out of the big trend. So we knew that, and that's why I said for the last few days, get in, stay focused, right? Then the important thing of where we were yesterday was to say, hey, we got to break this high. Remember, I told you guys, this is the high, that's resistance. Okay, we broke it. Now we broke this high too. Now that's support. Look how we are bouncing on the previous level over there. Okay, and the next resistance is up over here. So that's what I'm preparing for today. Is the altcoins for at any point. We have CPI tomorrow. Okay, CPI is going to come and bring some volatility. We'll see if we pump into CPI like this. Maybe CPI will create a little opportunity. Okay, or it's just going to give us the fuel that we need just to absolutely rock it through. Because again, what's important about CPI tomorrow, right, is the stock markets are sitting at a vital level. If you look at the futures market itself, here's the big support at the bottom that it's holding. Okay, but look at the resistance that it's at. And it's telling us that at any point now, a decision is going to be made in the next 24 to 48 hours on the stock markets. If the stock market breaks out from here, it is pumping to all-time highs quickly, guys. So it's telling us that CPI tomorrow is a big event. If it rejects, okay, it's telling us that there's an inverse head and shoulders to play out over here, which means there is a nice little 10% or 5% pullback in the stock markets. So what that means is I'm paying attention to today, right? If we decide on Bitcoin to pump heavily into all-time highs today, right? Today and into CPI tomorrow, before CPI has actually come out, then I got to be aware, and I'll be here tomorrow, be aware of a trap, right? Where we pump up over here, we trap, and then we go, right? But if we end up going to these levels and we start slowly pushing up, and CPI is actually incredible, that parabolic run can happen at any point over here, right? And just really rip through. So I'm quite interested to see if we're going to slow down here today into CPI tomorrow, maybe make a bull flag, like I said, okay? Or if we're going to actually rip into it. And again, the market's kind of ready for it, right? So let's go through the market over here. Here is ETH. ETH is in a flag. ETH has pumped and has done this for the last few days, right? It is in a flag. Okay, it's showing you that the early areas that probably might be gone now, but the loading up at the 2324 has been the areas to load up, and the resistance is 2728, right? But once we get through here, parabolic season, and we know that after this, the parabolic move to ETH is to 36 to 38. And again, I won't be surprised if it gets there in around 10 days. Okay, the market moves, and when it moves like this, then it will trap. We want to not be a part of that trap. We actually maybe want to take some profits on leverage positions and actually buy a lot more of that trap when it actually happens, right over there. So again, ETH is strong. It has broken out of this trend. Okay, it has turned this into support. ETH is looking good, right? Solana itself, I gave you guys the buys yesterday. You know, I've been buying. I bought on this account over here, and I've been buying a lot on my Bybit accounts, right? I've been actually very degen on my Bybit account. But it's that time again. You got to go for it. You can't mama raise no. Yeah. Okay. So Yeah, is Sol. I actually think Sol is still in a good entry. I really do. The reason is Sol hasn't started its short squeeze yet. So this support over here is a buy on Sol, and there's another buy if Bitcoin wants to dip a little bit lower, okay, over there. But nonetheless, I think Sol's in a good buy zone. I really do, because Sol has not started its short squeeze yet, okay? And at any moment now, once we break this level over here, okay, which is not far away, it's in areas of around 1% to 2% away, okay? We're then looking at Sol pump up close to $200. Again, high time frame, I think we're going to $240, $260 at any point. But let's zoom in and focus on these entries. If you look at things like Dogecoin, that was the drawing I left you guys with, and that popped strong. Those entries are now gone. But let's look at what the new entries are. The new entries are this support zone over here, and you can see how we've been hitting and bouncing on the next support zones over here. There's Dogecoin, right? We look at Cardano. Not much entries right now for short term, for long term, and spot. I think there's great entries here, right? Chainlink, strong. Not only is Chainlink strong, it's actually still in really good spot buys right now. It broke through that immediate trend, and it shows us that the next pump on Chainlink, okay, on the short time frame, is to pump up to 16 to 17, and we break through that, we're on our way back to the $20 mark, right? So Chainlink is showing us, out of a lot of the altcoins, it is showing some strength. I see 𝗬𝗎. 𝗬𝗎 is actually coming to a nice short-term buy zone. 𝗬𝗎 pumped nicely, okay, and it's turning all of these previous highs here into support. Now, guys, why I'm still available for buys now is because we haven't seen the real altcoin pump yet. Once this happens, then I'm saying, a lot of these altcoins, we've got to wait for pullback. That parabolic push at any point is what I see happening. So as long as we're buying support, it's good. And always just keep a little bit of cash, okay, for any cheaper possibilities. If we look over here on AVAX, AVAX is definitely one of the stronger alts right now, and it's sitting in support zone. AVAX is available, right? This token is very much available right now, okay, which is a token that is breaking trends and retesting right now, is 𝗧𝗍. 𝗧𝗍 is a great token, great fundamental token. Do your research on it. The chart looks phenomenal, okay? That looks like a really good buy zone when it comes to 𝗧𝗍. Okay, 𝗧𝗚 is looking like a good buy zone. Okay, look at that. We are breaking trends and we are sitting in the support zone over here. Again, keep a little bit of cash for any little wicks. Okay, any wicks now are opportunities, but that is now showing us at any point that once we get through this resistance on 𝗧𝗚, we're then going to pop up to the $8, $9 mark, and then we can breathe a little bit and work about where we want to add some more. The Nakamoto I spoke about is now gone and it's taken off. Render, still in an incredible buy zone. Okay, that is what I spoke about. Ondo waking up. So these are the calls we already went through, and we're making some money on these right now. Algo, I think, is in a good buy zone, guys. I do. I don't think it's even started yet. It's fighting this resistance over here. After that, the next pop is to the 24-cent mark. Right, so I think Algo is still a really good opportunity. Okay, I still think Injective is a good opportunity. Now let's go through and see a couple of different altcoins, right? Ones that are possibly starting to wake up, looking a little bit strong. I actually want to speak about XRP. I think XRP is, I think there's a pump coming to $3 at any point in XRP. And I do think, don't have to leverage it. I think spot-wise, I think XRP is looking sexy. So keep XRP in mind. Okay, it's one of the next ones that are showing strength. It's starting to wake up nicely. Okay, let's go through a couple of the meme coins. So what memes are doing right now, they have a very big pump boiling up. Now, again, it's up to you if you like memes or not. I don't personally trade them much, but I love them because they bring in retail, right? So we've just broken some decent trends over here. Not only is there strong pumps to come on memes to the tops here of 35%, okay, I actually think we're going to break out of this big range pretty soon. This range where the bears are holding, let's just mark this up over here. That's where they're holding. Once we get through there, okay, there is at least a pump to these areas. So I think there's about 100 to 150% pump incoming on these. It is vital, though, to take profits. Very important to take profits on the meme tokens. A token that is incredibly cheap, and it may be not the best right now to trade, but I really think it is a good investment opportunity, is Sonic. Sonic has gone through a lot. It is at the bear market, low territories over here. I think it's a great token to accumulate for the long term. It doesn't have to be the best trading token right now, but I do think it is a really good token when it comes to investing. I think this is still a $5 token. I do think there's a $5 to 10x opportunity when it comes to this. Another token that I'm going to trade quite a bit of, right, is THETA. I'm getting ready for a THETA breakout. It has not broken out yet, but it ain't far. So that means that the accumulation on THETA, okay, is still in play. But once it breaks this trend, get ready to trade it, because there is a big move incoming from here. There's up to at least a 50 to 60% move to the next resistance. And I do think this token is going to get back to $2 over there as well. Guys, every day, this market is going to wake up little bit by little bit, and there'll be new altcoins released. So do me a favor. Load up on the coffee, right? Or load up on the water, whatever keeps healthy, and join me every day. I will bring you new, fresh altcoins every single damn day. Guys, I love you lots. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great, fantastic day. Remember, if you want a community, join Sniper Club. I'm live there tomorrow with everyone. So big shout out to Club. They're doing incredible things. Sniper 2.0 is coming. The school's coming. And an indicator's coming. So make sure you sign up to that too. Have a fantastic day. Love you lots. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.